Hey, hopeful VAs, I hope you guys are doing great. Thought of making a video today about my VA journey. Since we're starting the year fresh, wanted to tell you guys how my life has changed over a year. I've been working remotely for, I guess, almost 2 years now. And I wanted to let you know how my journey went when I started, my success and failures, my trial and errors, how I even started over, and how I wanted to give up. So, if you are curious as to how things changed over a year for me, just tune in, and I hope you guys will learn something from my experience. So, yeah, let's get started. So, just to give you guys a little bit of personal background before I start sharing, I never really thought that this is the kind of setup I'd be interested in because I had my bachelor's degree in marketing, and I thought that after finishing my course, I'd be somewhere off traveling, doing some marketing stuff, but turns out I'm not. So after I graduated, I found my first job in a BPO company, but I think one of the first BPOs, like international BPOs, to be established here in our province. And I was a recruiter, luckily. I had my stint there with that company for 5 months as a temporary recruiter. So after that 5 months, they decided to let me go because they weren't in need of my service anymore. They only had 2 accounts at that time, so they weren't ramping up. They already had probationary recruiters, so yeah, they decided to let me go. It was an amazing experience though, because I had a chance to speak with people who had more experience in the industry than me. I spoke with team leads, some were even operations managers, people who had 10 years plus, 20 years plus of experience in the industry, and I did their initial and behavioral interviews. So that's why I don't get totally nervous in terms of interview assessments because I had an experience before. Like I was the one who did the interview or administered the interview. So yeah, it's a lot of help. It's greatly contributed to my interview skills. I left the company, or after they let me go, I was searching for another job, and I found myself working in another BPO. Um, it was a BPO that catered Australian clients. It was a totally different job from my recruiter job because at that time I was just sitting down doing data entry tasks, like typical office job, office task. I was just sitting down from start of shift to end of shift. So with that job, I was really trained to have time management, because in a day there were like probably, I think, around 5 to 6 tasks of different processes that I had to do. And in total, I had like, I think 10 tasks. There were 10 tasks that I had to do because, I mean, our client was very big in Australia. They even had branches in UK and US, in New Zealand, but the office staff was just like around 20, less than 20 that time when I was still with the company. So they had the task. They had a lot of tasks for the people, like distributed tasks for people. We even had like 6 days, or there were even times where we had to work for 6 times a week. Even though that was the case, I was with that company for almost 2 years. I think around 1 year and 8 months. And shout out to my coworkers there, to my coworkers who were really supportive of what I do up until now. To my coworkers who I still love catching up with. You know who you are, guys. And yeah, that was the last company that I worked with when I started my journey. I like this remote working journey because um, basically that was also the company that made me realize I'm tired of the corporate setup, like the corporate ladder and all of that stuff. So I decided to just um, try my luck in working from home. So back at that time, I didn't have any idea what being a VA was or being a virtual assistant was. So I just had this thought of working from home so I can be close to my family. I can be working without those uh, people by my. I was just tired of. I was just tired of people uh, adjusting to people. You know what I'm saying. I I think my last month with that company was October, so I started searching for remote jobs in Online Jobs PH for 2 months, and I applied to jobs every day. So I just had this idea that my niche was more on data entry and a little bit of customer service, but that was through email, not through call or through voice, like no direct interaction with the customer. So after 2 months of applying almost every day, I made myself a promise to at least apply to 5 jobs every day. And it was in December where I had my first response. So it was December 2021, and the company was a website for freelance writers. They were looking for customer service representatives, and luckily, I was one of those who was able to speak with the CEOs or the owners. The interview went well for me, but unfortunately, I wasn't hired for the job. And that's because of my internet issues or connectivity problems. You know, my internet has been pretty solid back then, but I was scheduled the night before Typhoon Rai or Typhoon Odette. And if you can recall, guys, by the way, I'm from Bohol. I am a proud Bisdak. And Bohol was one of the province that was badly, if not badly, worstly affected by the typhoon. We didn't have power for 2 months. There was even difficulty with the mobile signals for 2 months. It was just worse during that time. So I started to question my choices then, because the day after the interview, they sent me an email that they decided to move forward with another candidate. And that was uh, the night after Odette wreaked havoc in our province. So after a few days, we lost mobile signals. There was no power. Everything was just dark for me because the last news that I got was a job rejection, and there wasn't. I couldn't continue with my journey. I couldn't apply. There was no power in the province. There wasn't any mobile signal. We didn't have any generator, so yeah, I almost got depressed. So I decided to go back to the corporate industry, go back to the city and have a job. So I started over. I had zero balance in my bank account. I had no cash, literally nothing, because I've invested all of my financial resources in my computer, in my internet connection, and in getting this room, like my room renovated for a better working experience. So yeah, I just had nothing, and thankfully my father, he let me borrow some money from him to start over again in the city. So this time I found a job as a customer service representative, like a call center agent in the BPO. And I was thankful I got hired. I was thankful I had the right teammates, the right people with me. And after I've saved enough money, I went back to my journey as a virtual assistant. I just wanted to be here. I just wanted to be at home working remotely. I was with that company for 6 months, and you know, guys, I always love to save money. So when I was with them, I saved a lot of, not a lot of money, but I saved enough for me to start over again. And in case if I don't get a job after resigning, then I wouldn't go broke, you know, that kind of thing. So thankfully, after I resigned, I started to hear about virtual assistant agencies. You know, the first video I've uploaded, the first VA or the first VA interview, that was with a virtual assistant agency. And then when I had my interview with Magic, and I got my first job as a healthcare recruiter. And to tell you honestly, I wasn't performing or doing my best with that job. So they kept me only for 3 months. So they let me go after 3 months since they said I wasn't performing well, which I wouldn't deny because it wasn't the job that I really liked doing. The job's nature was more on cold outreach through phones, through email, but more focused on cold calling. And there I was back at the job hunting game again. And thankfully, when 2023 came in, it started with a blessing. So I got hired as a real estate virtual assistant, even though I lacked experience. The client took a chance on me. And I'm still blessed because up until now, they're still my client. I'm still with them. And I'm so happy because they're very kind, they're very understanding. It's just can't believe how my life changed when I worked with them. I was able to go out more frequently. I was able to treat myself, treat the people that I love, my family. I was able to share my blessings. So I even was able to achieve my savings goal for 2023. Funny just, how life has changed for a year so quickly for me. And I finally got my hands on my dream phone. I was able to buy myself a new phone through that job, and I'm always thankful for the blessings that I got. Also, guys, please watch my not so aesthetic unboxing video of this phone. Hopefully, I'll be able to upload it to the channel too. Well, that's how everything went for me in my virtual assistant journey, or my work from home journey. And it was a journey that's full of struggles. I had my fair share of struggles too, guys. So I didn't have it easy. In fact, I had to start over and go back to the corporate office. So if you're someone who's also struggling with your VA journey or remote working journey, I hope my story inspires you. Um, I know it's gonna be more difficult this time because a lot of people have been interested. I mean, like, there's a lot more people who's gone more interested in this kind of working setup. But just keep pushing. I know that you will somehow find um, your client too, or your future job too. What matters most is that you keep on going. And I hope that you will reach your dreams too and your goals. May this year be a year full of blessings for you. So thank you so much for watching, for getting to this part of the video, to the end part of the video. And always remember to just do your best and manifest. And see you in the next video.